What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games BS, part of Den Media Group, presented by MFTK Foundation .com. MFTKfoundation.com is the go-to website for all the things affiliated with MFTK, including the Book Bag Drive, MFTK Spartan 7v7, all kinds of different things. One of the cool things that we're doing currently right now, and I want everybody to understand, obviously we're still raising funds for the team, but I got presented yesterday with the unique opportunities. This young lady, Tiffany, who I went to school with. One, I like these kind of things because they challenge me, right? It also lets me see how things come full circle. So I do the girl who runs my nonprofit is a girl by the name of Brittany Christie. Brittany's amazing. She does things. She's got a chance to learn me. She has grown, hopefully continues to grow her business of managing nonprofits through my stuff. And I have no problem with how much money she makes or how much money she doesn't make. But I went to high school with Brittany. She's younger than me. She's a woman in a world where people like Cam Newton, who I love, will put out there that you cannot have Pluto tectonic or whatever it is relationships, and platonic relationships. I'm like, there's so many other things to talk about, man. Too, like, you can't have platonic relationships. You can't. I'm proof of it. My best friend is a female. I've got tons of women that I work with on a day-to-day basis that, or people that I admire, that I do absolutely, I mean, are they pretty? Yes. But I don't really have a desire to do anything with them.
It's hard for men out here right now.
Well, yeah.
It's because of these NBA dudes.
Yeah, see, the problem is this, and I think people, and I know this isn't part of the show, it's a little off script, but it's just how we're introducing each other. People confuse men with means
Right.
with men.
Right.
Like,
we're not in the NBA.
Like Cam Newton has an M, as a net worth of a couple of an M with a zero behind him. I don't know what his number is. Not my. I don't really care. Not trying to count his pockets. But when you got $20 million, you got options. And when you have options, now the crazy part is this is how women operate. But most men should operate like this. But I don't think it's the marketing. Men don't realize that we have the numbers. And a lot of these women who are saying these different things don't have the money to pay their own bills. But that being said, you can have, before I go into attention, you can have a platonic relationship with a woman. You ain't gotta sleep with that. Like, I ain't gotta, every cow I see, I don't want to murder just because I want a burger. But Brittany does her thing. I like working with people who I came up with. But this text message that I woke up to yesterday morning was so dope because it just, even like last weekend in Houston, like, I got a chance to coach one of my teammates who's an all-time great. I got a chance to coach his son. Y'all don't understand how fun that was for me. Just to see it, and then you get to tell the stuff that old people used to tell me, boy, you just like your daddy. Ooh, you look like your daddy. Ooh, you sound like. I got to say that to somebody for a whole weekend, and they probably got tired of that shit, but it was cool. But this is what I woke up to. Hey, JC, it's Tiffany from Florida High. Jason, who I came up with, passed me at Florida High, played football with him, passed along your number. I'm currently assistant principal at Godby High School, and we are doing a drive for suits for 50 young men. Coach Watkins, Pat Watkins of Florida State fame, played with the Dallas Cowboys, a teammate of mine, guy I grew up with, and Jason thought you'd be a great person to reach out to about potentially sponsoring some of the young men. If this is of interest to you, just give me a call. We talked more about it. Man, this girl did all the work. I'm sitting here thinking like, ooh, suits, 50 suits? I was like, all right, we can't afford 50 James Coleman suits for kids. That's like 50,000, damn near. Because what? Because I mean, yeah. Because and they don't need the suits that I wear. They're still growing. Most of these kids can get off rack. I can't. They went and found someone that's getting them these suits, brand new, slightly tailored, not customized, but tailored for $100 a pop. That's cheap as fuck. Even if the suit isn't of quality, it doesn't matter. $100 suit is good. It's a good starter suit for these guys. One of my favorite shows is Suits, and when Mike comes there, he goes there and he has his suit, and the guy's like, "What are you wearing? Like, why are you wearing that?" And he was like, "I wanted." He told me to get a suit. And he's like, "Did you get?" He's like, "How much did you pay for it?" He said, "I paid $500 for one suit." He's like, "No, for all of them." And that, that when you're in that environment, they kind of, but like when they're a teenager, it doesn't really matter. But they already had 15. I've already got 10 of them raised. So they're going to have 25 suits right now. They're halfway to their goal. Right. But I also had some guys that have stepped in. Shout out to my guy Arminius. Audacious by Arminius is a tailor here. I just put it, I just put stuff out there. My guy just, guys stepped up. And just did some cool things. Let me see if I can find, because I have Arminius's number saved? I need to. I hate how I don't be doing that sometimes. Anybody else just keep people on like unsaved until they talk to them enough?
I go and press unread on message I've read already, just so I remember.
Oh, that's clutch right there. See, I got this is how I know my iPhone's old. It keeps doing this mess called indexing. So I can't search my old text messages. Yeah. I forgot to respond to my dog. All right, so now responding to people helps too. So
ask me swim lessons February.
Yeah, it's cold. But it's 87 degrees today. But it's gonna be cold next week. Yeah, all right. So I sent them the message. She said, top of the morning. Few questions. When do they need them by? Can it be custom or off rack? Do they have a budget? So they actually had it mostly covered from a local guy. Just got off the phone with her. But I'd love to try to do something local here, even if it's repurposing some others in the community's old suits. He said, bet. I'm going to check our inventory. I know we have some for our prom giveaway, but that's not business attire. We may have some tan suits and I believe a few hundred green suits available. I'll let you know shortly. I have 5 suits for you so far. Do you know if they're accepting any shoes? I literally have about 15 pair of these Stacey Adams, different sizes, some new and gently worn. I'm like, yeah, I'll take them. So like, we got some bottom line is like, and some of these just gonna get some shoes. I want to get them some haberdashery. A lot of you guys are uncivilized, don't know what haberdashery is. That's pocket squares, ties, things of that nature. So, any donation helps. Right now, I think the suits that they're going to get, most of the boys are Navy. That's one of the types of suits that you do want to have. You do want to have a Navy suit, in your repertoire. So, any donations, anybody, again, time, talent, treasure. We're in that February time slot where YouTube loses its fucking mind. I don't know if you've picked up on this trait, Miles, or not, but like our views always go down in February. They changed the algorithm in February.
Yeah, after football, we get it. Then
March it'll get back. We'll do something crazy. I'm not doing the combine, so I won't have anything. The combine was boring as fuck last year anyway. So
the high school and all
yeah.
Just they need a new rhythm of something.
Yeah.
All that stuff is
Yeah. So
When do colleges know they they're like when is it definitely have to go?
for now,
Okay, or transferring.
unless the kid has already been in the portal, but most of that stuff is kind of done right now.
Okay.
They only have one portal window now, so like it kind of does help it a little bit. They used to have a spring transfer portal window, but they closed it. So like right now, everybody's rosters are effectively set, unless you graduate. If you graduate, then you're a grad transfer, and you can go anywhere you want to go. You're immediately available, or you transfer down.
Next thing is just
Yep. So spring ball starts the first week of March. So I'm gonna go try to check out some of these practices with FSU. I have their spring practice schedule already. So but outside of that, let's we'll start our show off the same way we start our show off each and every morning with a word of prayer.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Nobody wanna thank you, God. Thank you, God. Go.
All right, we finally got Jaden back off a long hiatus. Jaden, what we talking about?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another morning edition of Big Games BS here on Friday, February 20th. This is your first time at the show. Welcome. And if you're wondering why it's called Big Games BS, it's because we bring the good, bad, and the BS of the sports world, especially football, to your screens, eyes, and ears. We're going to start off with our MFTK segment, discuss the recently passed Teddy Bridgewater Act before touching up on some other topics. Then getting into our NCAA segment, talk about an FSU football video that's been circulating the internet and mention some of the more popular names in college football from this past year while also looking at some other information as well. Before we get into our NFL segment, we're in the off season, so a lot of things are being done for your respective sports teams, and we're going to keep you guys updated on everything from players to team locations and from former retired players as well. Then we have our Big Games BS section where we bring the scope of the conversation outside of the typical football world. Have our BS or Bust and Food Review segment. And then to finish off our show, we have a Why and Wyland video to show you guys. But first things first, the Teddy Bridgewater Act.
Hold on, I got some stuff to add with that. Shoot, what was it? Oh, my bad. I got to update real quick. I do want to talk about show my Starbucks. I want people to know the influence that we have. You can change the world if you want to, but you got the Starbucks video, the first video I sent you. Just wanted to send that real quick, Jaden. No, you can't. All right, never mind. Go ahead, Jaden. Let's go ahead and start talking about the Teddy Bridgewater thing.
All right, gonna share this with you guys right here. Then let's get this started. So, the Florida Senate has now passed the Teddy Bridgewater Act, aka Senate Bill 178. So, what does this mean? The bill would allow middle and high school coaches to use up to $15,000 of their own funds to support student athletes with food, transportation, and recovery services. This is after the Miami Northwestern fiasco with Teddy Bridgewater. The information came out that he was actually paying for student athletes, for their Ubers, for food, and for other things to support their football career. And a lot of people had something to say about that. So the Senate has passed the Teddy Bridgewater Act. What does this bill do for high school coaches, James, since they're allowed to use $15K of their own funds to support these student athletes?
So a lot to unpack. Yay. Underpaid people get the opportunity to use their resources to do things that the state and the community should already be doing for them. I get paid $1,419.48 to coach high school football in the state of in Jacksonville, Florida. Not a month for the entire year. So it just came so I get now, because I get $1,000, and it's higher in some places. It's probably lower in some places. But thank you for giving me the opportunity to be able to spend my money. And then now all you're doing is, like, Teddy Bridgewater is one of those guys that is easy to do. He's got money. But what about, I'll use my guy, Toby Bullock. Toby don't make that cut. That's basically, even then, Toby can spend. They're saying now, Toby, if you want to spend your entire football coaching stipend on your players, it's good now. That doesn't solve the problem, that the real problem that's coming in here. And it's also, to be honest with you, if I want to get political, it's a waste of time. You know what the Senate also passed? They passed an act or a law to basically change Palm Beach International Airport to the Donald Trump Airport. And they're going to spend money to be able to make that happen.
Everything going on, that's what we want to do.
That's right there, Miles, is the point. With everything going on, this is not just where you want. This is where we start. Like, this whole movement started with getting coaches paid more money. And in turn, it has figured out, how do we get the brokest people to spend more money? And it's just not about coaches. It's about teachers in general, too. Teachers spend their resources to make sure that kids have resources. And that's the biggest problem with all of this. We are supposed to have the most money. We have literally, the whole purpose of Florida Lottery being untaxed as a business is for them to be able to contribute to the education. You have the Florida Lottery, which is gambling, which the numbers, which a lot of people play. Clearly, you can see when they have all these billion-dollar jackpots, right? We got property taxes, your mill rate. Whether you are in an apartment renting or if you're owning, you are paying for your local schools. A percentage of your money every year goes to that, and that goes up, even though they have passed the bill outlawing property tax, but that does not mean you will not have any taxes, because you have to fund the schools. You've got all kinds of different things being added and contributed to it that it just doesn't make any sense. When the first part of this was to get coaches paid more. Now, what will happen is there will be abuse of this. There are 10 coaches that you can have in Duval County. At $15,000, if I do the math, that's $150K per school. If I'm Bowles, you know what I'm doing? I'm putting $150,000 away to make sure that my colored kids from other places come to Bowles safely. So I can put that into that, because that would help. I'm going to fundraise to try to get $150,000 so that we can not saying this is what I would do, so that you can put that towards your athletes and just say, hey, this coach did this coach did that, blah, blah, blah. If you got to make it clean, make it clean. Everything besides paying the people who put their time, their talent, and their treasure into the young men. And I'm not saying that young men we already were doing these things. It just didn't have a solid number on it. And actually putting a number on it, all it does is just it's a spit in the face when you look at how much you get paid. I can't tell you how many times I've driven a kid home because he doesn't have a ride home to practice. And there are 4 cars in the fucking driveway. Like, one of the motherfuckers could have came and got that kid. Now I got to spend less time with my family to take care of your kid. And my post on Facebook that I made, thank you. I now have the privilege to spend $15,000 annually on some kids whose parents think that I'm trying to make their lives miserable. But that's just my thought.
We have our
you got the video of Corey throwing the ball. Like it was funny is this passes when they're talking about they're going up there fighting for coaches' rights. You're not fighting for coaches' rights. You're fighting for coaches' right. Again, Teddy was doing it the right way, doing the right thing, but it did attract. It's why people wanted to go play for Teddy. Like, you're fighting for coaches' rights to cheat properly. Yeah, what?
A video with
Jason. We'll get to that later. That's Jason. All right, but go to the next thing, Jaden.
A video has been circulating in the FSU community from Florida State linebacker Ethan Pritchard. So he posted a video on his Instagram story walking on a treadmill in his rehab process right here. This is great to see since Ethan Pritchard did have that horrible injury, or that horrible instance happened to him, resulting in a horrible injury, but he is still pushing and moving on. And let's see his progress in this video.
That's incredible considering he got shot in the head, man. I mean, Jaden said injury. I'm like, that's a little stronger than an injury, man. Yeah. Way less than a year. It was after the Alabama game. So August. Labor Day, basically. So yeah, good stuff, good progress. It's amazing how, like, you know, how grim it looks in the beginning. And then, like, but how resilient the body is when you actually train and work for it.
Shout out to the Pritchard family. I know they've had a tough last couple months, but I know they have smiles on their faces seeing how Ethan continues to put one foot forward, 1 foot in front of the other. So huge congratulations to Ethan on being able to get his steps back and continue to hopefully get back on that field. I'm sure he wants to get back out there with his guys. So that's the end goal. And this is the right steps to get there. So huge congratulations to the Pritchard family. There has been a lot of commotion around Curt Cignetti's Natty headset. So this headset was actually in auction and it has officially been sold for a price of $112,500. The national championship head coach, his headset sold for $112,500, previously beating the previous record holder of Bill Belichick's headset from a Super Bowl, which was only $10,200, more than 10 times that value for Curt Cignetti's headset. But who is paying $112,000 for a headset, James? That is my question, because that is a crazy amount.
People with stupid money, like, I wouldn't have done that. Like, that's just, again, this is why Wild World. But I wouldn't pay that.
This may seem to come off as a surprise, but we have to shout out Kenneth Walker because he is a trailblazer for that Michigan State football program. Recently come to the internet's attention that Kenneth Walker is actually the first Michigan State alum to win Super Bowl MVP. He is putting on for his squad for the Michigan State Spartans, and he is the first in program history to win Super Bowl MVP. Just wanted to shout out the running back as well. He's also been in the news because he is up for an extension this offseason. So we're going to see how the Seahawks and pan out with the Kenneth Walker financial situation. But just wanted to share this with you guys. Any Michigan State fans in the house or know somebody that knows somebody who's a fan of the squad, just wanted to share this interesting statistic with you guys before we get into our When's the Last Time segment for today. For the day, excuse me. So this is how long it's been since each college football Power 4 program has gotten 10 plus wins in a season. This past season, no surprise with the teams up there: Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon, Miami, Georgia, some other teams sprinkled in the mix as well. 2024, Clemson, Penn State, SMU, Arizona State, Iowa State, Tennessee, Missouri, Illinois, and Syracuse. FSU in 2023, sharing that stage also with Michigan, Washington, and LSU. But let's go down to 2019 because that was the last time Florida has won 10 plus games in a season. Out of the big three in Florida, Miami, Florida State, and Florida has won 10 games the longest time ago.
USF hasn't won 10 games in a minute.
USF, they're technically not Power 4.
Oh, Power 4 program, yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, that wouldn't be on this. But take a look at Purdue all the way at the bottom, pre-2000, since they have won 10 plus games in a season. And James, this list also puts a lot of smut on the ACC's name because Duke hasn't won 10 plus games in the season since 2010 to 2013, but they were the ACC champions last year. So just wanted to share this with everybody for your prospective Power 4 team right here, just to see where they panned out in 10 plus win seasons. But any surprises on this list, James, for you that you probably wouldn't expect?
It's crazy. Maryland hasn't won anything since Ralph Friedgen, and they fired that guy. Like, that's the best coach, one of the best teams you've ever had, and you got rid of that guy, which is wild. But the other wild thing is when you look at 2023, obviously Michigan won a natty in that, but you see the drop off of LSU, Arizona, Oklahoma State, and Iowa's Iowa. But you see like some of these programs, you even see the drop off of what Syracuse and Illinois did after 2024. Iowa State as well, if I remember correctly. SMU did okay, but like you see the drop and the dip, but you don't see the panic. And Colorado being so far down the list that I would have thought they won 10 games recently. But that's the only surprises.
So let's continue with the surprises because we are on a roll with this list Twitter type of content. So the combine starts next week on February 26th, and these are the most players invited by their respective school in the combine. And we're going to shout out Texas A&M because they have 13 players invited to the combine, which is a program record. Bama has 12 players. LSU and Ohio State has 11. Georgia, Miami, and Oklahoma shared this placement with 10 players invited by the school. FSU, I know, had 1 player invited to the combine, Daryl Jackson. But James, Texas A&M had 13 cats invited to the combine. Man, I know their coach and their staff is definitely happy to get that statistic attached to their resumes.
It's amazing what happens when you win, you know? People decide to come to your program. So that doesn't shock me at all. So
what about the 12 from Bama, James? Is that surprising? Even though they did make the CFP, they did have success in that postseason. 12 is second place in this list right here for players invited to the combine.
No, because they still have the Saban effect, and they still have guys that are very, very good in the program. They're just not as physical as they used to be. But they have a quarterback that has interest in a weak quarterback draft. Obviously, the wide receivers, O-line, some defensive players. Still going to be still a great team. So the SEC will always will lead. Like when you look at that list, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's like over 50, almost damn near 60 teams on that list. I mean, 60 players on that list from one program. I mean, from one conference. So that in Alabama is consistently the cream of the crop when it comes to said conference. So nothing shocks me with that.
Nothing should shock you in this new segment, James, because the Fast and Furious franchise is making another movie, but this time is going to be in Athens, Georgia. So you actually got 2 Georgia linebackers, Chris Cole and Darren. I'm just going to call him Darren I because I don't want to butcher his name, on charges of reckless driving and speeding in Athens. We have some more information as well. So these 2 linebackers were arrested Wednesday night on misdemeanor charges for speeding at maximum limits and other traffic offenses in Athens, Clark County. Cole was charged with reckless driving, and Darren was charged with speeding, reckless driving, and following too closely. UGA Deputy Athletic Director Stephen Drummond said the program is aware of the charges and is gathering more information, but will not comment further due to the ongoing legal matter. Cole, a junior, expected to be one of Georgia's top defenders next year, logged 59 tackles, 7 TFLs, and 4.5 sacks last year, while Darren is a redshirt freshman, appeared in 5 games, though, and had 2 tackles. So the incident continues a trend of traffic-related issues for Georgia, including the November arrest of backup offensive lineman Nair Daniels, who faces 17 charges, 2 felonies, after allegedly fleeing police at over 150 miles per hour with his younger siblings in the car. But yes, James, we talked about surprises, and seems no surprise that Georgia has been having this reckless.
That's one of the emails I sent you, Miles. But this is not. I mean, it's kind of like the funniest thing in all of this is the hypocrisy and how people choose to look at it. Bobby Biden they said Bobby Biden had lost institutional control in 2002 because Chris Ricks overslept for an exam. And Adrian McPherson got caught for gambling. They said Bobby needed to retire. Shit, that same year, Boise State, like they showed how many people were suspended for a bowl game. But like, look at this right here. And we can blow this up a little bit. Like, I don't know how much we can do before it gets out of that. People can probably see it. They're watching it from their screens or from their whatever. The University of Georgia is a quarterback away from having a all 22 reckless driving team. That is insane.
That is great. It's not even
Like it is funny, but it's not. But it's not. Like we should be sitting here appalled.
Yeah. Big news, and it's kind of going undercover.
But it just proves that America doesn't give a fuck as long as you're winning.
But we definitely don't care about our kids.
Oh, MFTK all day. They get mad at the people who make jokes about it and like put it in their face, but don't nobody give a fuck about kids. You got guys getting drafted who saw a teammate die.
Right.
And a trainer or whatever she was. You got like not Herschel Walker. What's his name? Bo Jackson would get on a podcast and talk about the kids they got cars. They got jewelry that costs more than their mama house. The kids are out of control. And talk about the NIL. Talk about lack of accountability. All these kids are getting money. You know what Georgia should have done at this point? They should have gotten a fucking sponsorship with Uber.
For real? Oh my.
Get a car service. Sixth. Get a car service. You don't get to drive at the University of Georgia.
For real?
You have to earn driving privileges. There's 100 kids on the fucking football team. Get you 100 vehicles. Make it fly. Increase the economy. Boost it. Take it out of the scholarships. Man, of course. Man, shoot. You come tell me that now. Like, brother Coleman, James. You are not allowed. You could give them weekend privileges, maybe. Or no, actually take it away on the weekend. Give them weekday privileges. But if they want to go somewhere, they have to negotiate. They have their driver. They have to pick up the phone and call the driver. The driver takes them from point A to point fucking B.
100%.
Then I can say, Kirby, you have exhausted every possible resource to make sure that these dumbasses aren't going out and you're protecting them from themselves.
Are the coaches feeling less empowered? Is that why?
It got nothing to do, man. Kirby is one of the motherfuckers who got all the power and control.
Yeah.
Kirby walk into everywhere. When I see his ass in recruiting, he flies a helicopter. Duval County told Mike Norvell, no, you can't fly a helicopter on Duval County. Kirby just said, bitch, I'm parking the bitch here. Give a fuck. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Make sure somebody's there to accommodate me. Don't check into the front office. Don't do any of these other different things. Just show up. Matter of fact, I'm a bitch about that because I got to go through all the processes now. God damn it, Mike Norvell should have. If it's during the school day, Mike Norvell doesn't. His ass better. Actually, you know what? Now I think about it, I think they do. They do fly the helicopter back there. Never mind. Somebody picks them up on a golf cart and then takes them up to the office. The helicopter thing is just a flex. It's not even efficient. But Kirby got all the power in the world except for making sure he holds his kids accountable. And that's not including, like, you got a D tackle who just got trespassing and all kind of vandalism charges because his old lady broke up with him. That's the thing I got to make sure my guy, if my sons don't get no other trait, I got some bad traits. I got some good ones. But there is one bad trait that I pray that they get. That whole, man, like, that whole crying and slobbing and doing weird shit because a girl broke your heart or broke up with you, I pray they get that trait for me of not giving a fuck.
Yeah, I don't see them. Yeah, I think they will. They have definitely not.
Trey is definitely Trey ain't giving fucks at all.
I still don't know what that boy care about.
Trey be like, okay. All right. He cried in the car, but he ain't gonna cry. He ain't giving you shit. Killer, I don't know.
Yeah.
Killer's a little more emotional. But, like, you know, people get mad. Like, I've had, you don't care about me. Like, no, it's just I care about me more. I should. I got to live in this body. I got to deal with the consequences. I earned the right to care about me more.
A lot of young men need to hear that, bro.
Yeah.
It's okay to care about yourself.
And you're going to either come back or I'm going to find something else. And I hate to sound like that, but it's the same thing for them. Like when women get to talking about, I know my worth, man, flourish, queen.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree with you, baby. You could do way better than me. Knowing in my head they can't, but at the same time, I'm like, go do better. I'm encouraging you to go do better, and I'm going to cheer you on.
It's the pursuit of happiness. All right.
But then they get mad at you when you agree with them. But you just said the shit. But one thing I'm not going to do is be out here for you to call the police on me, and I'm the one who looked like the idiot. Nah, I'm sorry. Nah, no, it's not. No, it doesn't make any sense.
One thing I find after you put that Bo Jackson thing and then the Bear Bryant thing, I've come to the realization that our country is ruled by the sports world in a way that's almost unfair. Like we're talking about what the University of Georgia should be doing to control this, but we count more on them than the police, than our government to actually fix these societal problems. Like this is a big problem. We're counting on the school to do what we should maybe be thinking about government interference or police. But it just goes to show you the power. I mean, the change that happened for segregation was because of sports.
When people say it's again, of course, when people say shit like, I don't like my sports political. When has it not been political?
I mean, they're literally policing us.
Like, and it's about there's proactive and reactive. I don't want reaction is the government doing what we need them to do, and it never works well.
Yeah.
Proactive is preventing this shit from ever happening.
But we expect that from our schools and not our government.
Right, yeah, no, I'm saying, but it's bigger than that. We expect better behavior from the kids than we do the adults.
That too.
Or the entertainers. We're appalled by R. Kelly peeing on 14-year-olds. We got a whole Epstein list out here.
Yeah.
Where the only person, there's been one arrest, and it's a prince in another country.
And you compare that to the gambling scandal in the NBA, where we know that's going to get taken care of because they're not going to mess up.
What happens? You know why we know it's going to get taken care of? Safe space, permission to speak freely. It's like when people say, "What about black on black violence?" One, crime is about regionality, commonality, and because of laws and because of the government, and then the government had to run interference because of this thing called slavery and redline it. Most black people live where black people live. You could actually find a condensed map to show you where large swaths of the population live. I did not realize how many Panamanians lived in fucking Tallahassee, Florida until I met your dad.
Not random.
And they all it's just like they have a Panamanian blue book. They come in and just boom, you automatically know all the Panamanians or Hispanics. People lump into cultures. There are laws, but it's also it makes you feel it's survival. It's why gangs started.
Exactly. Yeah. Black Panther.
But you know why I don't worry about black on black crime? If I die, when I have life insurance, that's two. But one, I'm not gonna get killed by a black person more than likely. The Chinese or an Indian. Chinese or an Indian are gonna do the deed because that's who the fuck lives around me. That's who's gonna rob me. Even if I don't know, I got cameras everywhere now. But even if they come, they're gonna say, James, who do you think did it? Can you draw us a picture? And they're gonna have. I'm gonna draw a circular face.
Careful.
With a line, with lines for eyes, not open, and say you gotta look like this. Or I'm gonna,
like what? He's tired?
or I'm going, and I'm gonna with a yellow hue, or I'm going to go and put a dark. I'm going to find the darkest brown crown I can find. I'm going to color it that with straightest hair I can give him, and I'm gonna put a red dot right in the middle. Okay, yeah, they're like, how do you know? Because that's who fucking surrounds me. That's where I live.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There are no like there are a few black people that live in my neighborhood. And you know what I say? Okay, since I'm offending everybody, I'm gonna make sure you know this is a safe offensive space.
Yeah.
I'm ready to move now. Because I was the only black for a while. Now it's too many. Don't know. Got to look over my shoulder a little bit now. It's 10 of us in a 1,000 house neighborhood. My joke is that I know if something happens to me, that person's going to get prosecuted to the full extent of the fucking law. I know they're going to lose something, whether it be their freedom, their time, their energy, or some kind of resource. When it happens across lines, it typically gets muddied and it doesn't happen. Or if a politician does it, it typically happens and nothing happens. Like here, I know for a fact, at least they're going to get punished a little bit.
Trust them more than you trust the government.
Everybody, you know why football coaches are the most effective good coaches are the most effective disciplinarians. Because they know I can get you. And it's going to be physical. And they're going to tax you. Like, hell, I talked about Matt drills. This thing's going viral with Freddie again. You know, they talk about this. They talk about the Drew Brees thing. But like, I talked back to my coach. I think I got away with it. When February comes, they're gonna tax me. They Matt drills. It could be one little instance. One fucking instance where I lost my cool for a little bit. And they pushed the button. And I remember that time you said, fuck me. Mm-hmm. Fuck me, huh? Nah, fuck you.
So if we truly want America to act right, we just gotta take away football. Punish.
That's what you take away privileges. We've learned this with kids. We have stopped parenting effectively as a village. So like the reason why you play it is because it can deter you and get you into other troubles if you aren't there, but you learn if the kids truly care because they'll try to do things the right way. But when you don't give a fuck, then you deserve to be locked up. But like when you take football away, like make people do shit. I stopped yelling at Trey over the summer. I started telling Al to take care of it. And the creative punishments that they gave this boy until he did the damn book report was amazing. Like I'm not even Christian like that. They made that boy bear his cross. That boy had to carry a cross up and down a football field for the entire practice because he decided, because I told him, like, you're not playing football more than likely. But I'm not going to let you stay home. Like, that's what parents don't get it. You know what's more effective than taking, like, oh, we're not going to practice. Man, nobody want to fucking go to practice. Make them go to practice and watch. Or better yet, make them go to practice and make them do activities while everybody else is just practicing. Buster Davis decided that he didn't, in my class, that decided that he didn't want to, he was mad that they told him that he was going to play. He didn't play enough. So he decided he was basically going to fucking run away. He left. They thought it was a joke. That motherfucker cleared out his room and went back home to Daytona. It was going to transfer to Nebraska or somewhere else. Bobby told him that's not going to happen. I'm not going to give you your release. You can walk on. But in that time, with your national letter of intent kept you for 2 years. That school owned your rights for 2 years. That shit that y'all don't know about. These motherfuckers own these kids. Unless they release them. Buster, so there was 24 periods. A, B, C, and D. So each period is 5 minutes. All right? Period A, B, C, and D, those don't count on the books. That's volunteer work.
That's lying.
It is. Because you only get 20 hours every week to practice, including the game. So A, B, C, and D, you decide that you want to practice.
Sure you do.
Then there's 24 periods. That is the longest practice we have, most of the practice, and during camp. Now, we had 2-a-days during that time. I mean, practice in the morning, 24 periods, You practice in the evening, 24 periods. Sometimes they may switch it up, give you 18, but it's still a lot. And you still got A, B, C, D. And you had about a 5-6 hour break during the day to eat your lunch, take a nap, and then you did nap. I stopped going home. I just slept in I slept in the meeting room so that I wasn't late and I didn't make things worse. Buster, because of what he did, and he missed a week of practice, they made him make up for it. And he had to do punishments the entire practice while we were going after it. While we were practicing, I can promise you this. Each period is 5 minutes. I didn't do 5 minutes of work. The way they break it down is the ones do 4 plays, twos do 4 plays. So you get 8 plays in a period when you're doing your team stuff. So and we alternated. So I may get 4 plays. Let's just say I did a minute and a half worth of work each period. Imagine doing 5 minutes of fucking work. Like pushing boards, up downs, gassers, this. Like he was working when we had break. That's some punishment for your ass. I'd rather take, like, if they told me, James, you can go do 30 days in county, or you could do 2 weeks, 2 weeks of just cardio exercises with a strength and conditioning coach, and they just come up with shit, I'm probably gonna take the 30 days.
Let's get into some NFL content. Just have to remind everybody who the Jaguars head coach is, because he is a record holder. Yes, we are talking about Liam Cohen, if you guys did not know. And he is the UMass career record holder for passing touchdowns, total touchdowns, and passing yards. Fun fact, his teammate in college was Victor Cruz from the New York Giants, so they definitely had a lot of chemistry on that field. But sometimes you just got to remind them, James, who their head coach is. He was a dog for UMass, so shout out to Liam, man. Mr. Duval, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, man. Sometimes he's a original link. You gotta let a naysayer know sometimes. I mean, it's cool. I mean, you got him, when kids know you did it, it does give a different era of respect, even no matter what level. It's so funny when kids come, Coach, man, you really will. I was like, bro, like, what the fuck you thought? Hey, I'm just not. I ain't, I just, the problem with me is, if I were people who have the like Liam's pretty humble too, but like people who have the accomplishments that some of us have, a lesser man would be more arrogant. The problem is I got friends who really did stuff. Like, I can't flex on you when I know Peter Warwick. I feel like Pete and Pete's not that type of guy, but I'm like, I wouldn't like it if Pete flexed on me like that. So I try not to do it, but sometimes you gotta let them say no. But shout out to Liam. Like, he may look like he was in he may look like that, but that man was like that.
You always talk about the cap space of a team and how it is easily adjustable. And look no further, James. The Chiefs have actually restructured Patrick Mahomes' lengthy contract, if you will, contract amount, if you will. So Chiefs restructured Mahomes' contract this week, lowering his salary cap from $78.2 million to $34.65 million for the upcoming season, thus creating $43.56 million in salary cap space for 2020.
Let me guess. He's got a bonus. The salary cap doesn't exist. They have to pay you something. And it has to be market value. So it can't just look like they're just throwing money away at you. But like, man, these owners don't care. The NFL is an ATM. That's why, like, all this Bad Bunny, all this other dumb shit that everybody's protesting, man, just watch or don't. Shut the fuck up. It ain't going nowhere, dog. It ain't your money. But that's a smart move because they figure the one thing I truly believe that they don't want to do anymore. They do not want to lose. So they did not like watching this shit from the seats.
I just hope all the mock drafts are wrong, and I just hope they don't get Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame because I wouldn't want to see him and Patrick Mahomes on the same team.
Boy, play action finna get active.
Yep.
That boy right there runs angry. I still remember that video from was it Penn State game when he ran everybody over?
Yeah, I think it was Penn State. Mm-hmm. So a lot of NFL teams, a majority of NFL teams actually, will have new offensive coordinators this season. And that specific number is 21. There are 21 NFL teams with new OCs. Starting from the top, you have Brian Daboll, Mike McDaniel.
Coach said that he's going to call the plays. So Brian Daboll's offense is going to be mid. Chargers might be sexy though.
Chiefs running it back with Eric Bieniemy. Lions, Dolphins, Commanders, Falcons, Bucks, Ravens, Bills, Eagles, Browns, Broncos, Giants, Jets, Cardinals, Steelers, Bears, Raiders, Seahawks, and the Rams. So this is actually on the heels of this information, courtesy of Adam Schefter, that the Rams are promoting the pass game coordinator, Nate, to OC and making QB coach Dave Ragone the co-OC / QB coach. Nate interviewed for 5 head coaching jobs during this hiring cycle, but now the NFL's final OC opening has been filled in a uniquely LA way. But 21 teams, James, have a new OC. Man, I don't know if this is the most ever in a season, but a majority of the squads in the NFL has a new offensive coordinator. Man,
let's keep that right here real quick. I can tell you, I'm gonna give you my big games quick look to see who's actually good.
We know the Jets aren't good. Number 15.
Oh, well, you know what? Frank Reich's not a good head coach. He actually is a good. He actually has been known as a decent offensive mind, but I'm gonna give you that though. But I know number 2, number 3. So that's Mike McDaniel, Eric Bieniemy. The Ram 21 is going to be good because he's not calling the plays, which is ironic because we all know who that coach is. But Eric Bieniemy couldn't get a head coaching job because everybody said that Andy Reid was the guy who called the plays. But everybody from the Rams tree gets opportunities. Matt Nagy's not bad, but I don't see that working either. I can promise you without a shadow of a doubt, 16 and 18 stink. It was somebody else on there I thought I saw. No, it's just Nathaniel Hackett and Press Taylor. I have seen them. I have seen their work. They are ass. Jaguar fans have seen their work. We hate these people. How they stay employed as coordinators makes absolutely no sense. They have to have something on people.
Well, I can give you a big guess, but you know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to jam your show up, James. I ain't gonna jam your show up, but yep, you got some new faces for 21 new NFL teams for that offensive coordinator position. But James, I know that Travis Switzer from the Cleveland Browns is gonna have a major issue on his hands. I don't know if you guys have heard, but the entire Browns starting line is set to be free agents next month. Excuse me. So you have left tackle Cam Robinson, left guard Joel Bitonio, center Ethan Pacic, right guard Wyatt Teller, and right tackle Jack Conklin are all going to be free agents next month. I know I'm not the biggest football savant, James, but this does not sound like it's a good it's a good future for the Browns.
That's never how you want it to work. You want a couple to be in free agency. You don't want everybody to be in free agency.
Yeah, sorry for the Cleveland Browns and sorry for Shador, man. Whew, all your guys gonna be free agents. Obviously, gonna have a lot of movement within that offensive line in terms of just contract negotiations or players actually moving on to different teams. So, good luck to all my Browns fans out there because offensive trenches definitely in shambles right now. But moving on. Let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks, James, because you, James, can buy the Seahawks because they are officially for sale. I know that MFTK is doing big things. You can put a little auction in. So the estate of Paul G. Allen today announced it has commenced a formal sale process for the Seahawks. Consistent with Allen's directive to eventually sell his sports holdings and direct all estate proceeds to philanthropy. The estate has selected investment bank Allen and Company and law firm Latham and Watkins to lead the sale process, which is estimated to continue through the 2026 offseason. NFL owners must then ratify a final purchase agreement, and this sale is looking to break the records for the largest sale of a football franchise. I've seen estimates from $8 to $10 billion. So Paul G. Allen is looking to run up that chicken. So, man, James, Seahawks got the chip and they're selling in the right time. So shout out to the Seattle Seahawks, man. I know that's going to be a pretty penny somebody's going to pay for that squad.
Apparently, it was basically in the bill. He gave I believe his sister, undisclosed amount of time. She just couldn't take too long. She's like, eventually, got to sell it after 8 years. Then, all right. Sell it, charity. Fine.
I'm never doing that. It is not. I'm all about charity.
Yeah.
There's only 31 teams. 31 people can have the opportunity to buy an NFL franchise, to own one, at a time. The Packers are owned by the community. Technically, the NFL owns the Packers. The NFL owns the Packers. All the other shit is just, I don't like it. It's not necessary. Like it's not like, keep it in your family.
Or the sister wanted to do that. That's why she's holding on for so long.
It's literally like, it's the most sound investment you could have ever made in your life.
Like, I can't.
It only makes more money. Like, we talk about how rich are you? Like, I can't, like, I'm one of those guys that steps back and be like, you know what? I can't fathom thinking like that.
Can't now.
No, but I'm saying, but like, if I was a billionaire, I want to be that rich to where I could be like, you know what? This is what I would do. I would do, Brewster's Millions is one of my favorite movies.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I'd do something like that. Like, let's say I'm living and Trey's gone, everybody's gone, and I got one of them has a no good, not for nothing asshole son or something like that. And I'm on my way out, and I'll be like, you got to spend $30 million in 30 days, and you'll inherit the Seattle Seahawks. I'm giving you the money to spend. Here's your boom, $30 million in your account. You got to spend $30 million in 30 days. Can't just give it all to one person. You can only have so much in cash available. And like you spend $30 million in 30 days, and I will give you the Seattle Seahawks. Like your family's like it's one of those investments that even when the NFL decide like something happens, like, I don't know, like the earth blows up or some shit like that, and there's no more NFL. You've made so much money off of this that you're good.
Gotta watch Succession. Rich people don't be loving their families like that.
I know, but you know why? Some of it has to do with in order to be elite, you have to be an asshole.
Yeah.
You have to be an asshole. And you have to have people that understand that you're like all these people that they love to talk about. Like, have you really done a deep dive into Rockefeller? Like, he was a philanthropist, he was an asshole. JP Morgan, Cornelius Vanderbilt. It was Rockefeller went with it was Rockefeller and Carnegie. They had like the pettiest rivalry of all time. Like they would send each other like Carnegie would send Rockefeller gifts because I give money away. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Like, bro, like exactly. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like I'd rather give away the value of the Seattle Seahawks than to give them away.
See, this is what it happened. If you could remember back to your COVID experience, you're on your deathbed and you're trying to buy your way into heaven. You remember the bodies.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't be a billionaire and not be a great person.
Yeah, that's
Excuse me, my bad. I apologize. You can't be a billionaire and be a good person. You can be great. You can't be good. There is no in between. Like this is where people like really be tripping. I'm like, yo, good men ain't great and great men ain't good. Like I don't want to be a good man. I have zero desire of being a good man.
Great men want to go to heaven.
Nah, you heard 4-5. He told the realest statement that President Trump has ever said. I ain't going to heaven. I don't think so. At least some of y'all in here this room going to heaven, but I ain't going. That's the realest statement I've ever heard. Dead the fuck serious.
How could you want your president?
Listen, dog. Listen, bro. Like at this point, I don't even give a fuck no more. Like I have learned that we make excuses for people we like. Like that shit's crazy. My man, one thing that I don't ever want to be affiliated with, like, is a fucking pedophile.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, they just, that's just it. Like my man called it a hoax. Then it's not a hoax. It's, all kinds of other shit. But the point in all of this is, I ain't giving away the fucking Seattle Seahawks. Matter of fact, the president, you have something that the president can't have. The NFL said no to him. That's when I told people. That's when I knew his money was funny. Because you got to have 70. Actually, my bad. Do you realize how rich you have to be to own an NFL franchise? You can only take 30% out on a loan. 70% of it got to be liquid capital, pay it up front. There's nothing in life that you do that shit with. Like, you go to try to get a car. Like, I don't even think they'll do it anymore with you with auto loans. Like, they won't let you pay 70% down on a car. They'll tell you to go on, scram. But, nah, the NFL, wow, that man is crazy. But, nah, if there's no challenge attached to it, I don't understand why we're doing this. Fair enough. I'd be like, he's dead to me.
Fox Sports NFL reminded us of these great wide receivers of the most seasons with 1,000 plus receiving yards, and with Mike Evans, actually news of him returning for the next season, which is his 13th season. Let's take a look at the players with the most 1,000 plus receiving yard seasons in NFL history. Jerry Rice, the GOAT, up top with 14 of these seasons. Mike Evans with 11, Randy Moss, Larry Fitzgerald, T.O., Jags' own Jimmy Smith, and Tim Brown make this list. But James, these are some dogs on this list for sure. And Mike Evans is returning for another season in that Tampa Bay uniform. So just want to remind everybody of this. But 11.
The craziest thing there. So Jerry Rice, Hall of Famer, right?
Yes.
Randy Moss, Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Fitzgerald is a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Right, just made it. Terrell Owens, Hall of Fame too, right? Is Tim Brown in the Hall of Fame? Tim Brown was cold. Tim Brown's a Hall of Fame. Is there anything on that list, Jaden, that you can see that just doesn't make sense? If all of those guys are in the Hall of Fame and this one guy is going to be in the Hall of Fame, he's going to be talked about in the Hall of Fame. So he's just the quietest Hall of Famer. But like, is there anything else on that? Does anything make sense on that?
Jimmy Smith not being in the
How
Hall
are
of
all
Fame.
these other guys in the NFL, I mean, in the Hall of Fame, but Jimmy Smith isn't?
They did hold Terrell Owens to his third eligibility. That was just hating.
That's the same thing that they the same thing. That's the same thing that folks did and did to the Belichick and Belichick right now.
Yeah.
Like there's just no, like the dude gotta like, but I don't. But so Jimmy's is clearly because Jimmy, you know, Jimmy's off the field antics or why Jimmy's not in. And he wasn't even really bad. He just struggled with addiction. I think he had to get sat down for like a year or two post career. Jimmy just like cocaine.
But so did
Michael Irvin. But Michael never got sat down for 2 years. And Michael also has 3 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
So Jay Smooth was in a small market team and just really, really good. It's crazy when you look at his number. Him and Keenan McCardell were just really nice like that. But when you remember when you looked at Mark Brunell's numbers? Like his quarterback play was so ass. It was like 25 touchdowns, 21 interceptions, and shit like that.
Like Tom Brady changed the whole game.
They also had Freddie T. That squad was nice. Nope, not in Hall of Fame. It's an evil world we live in.
Cam Newton is looking to pivot because I don't know if you guys were aware he was co-hosting a show called 106 in Sports, a spinoff of 106 in Park with the co-host you see on the right-hand side. That show actually got canceled, but HBCU Game Day posted that he's looking to actually flip his BET show into the HBCU Focus Tailgate show this fall. I hope this actually pulls through and people tap in to the Cam Newton HBCU Tailgate Focus show. Do you think that would be a great idea for Cam Newton to do, James?
Yes. I think if you go back, so you weren't alive, Jaden, so probably can ask your mom about this stuff. But she would have been, I think she'd have been right. That'd have been in her prime running and ripping days. BET really focused on the HBCU and the HBCU experience. It's right when MTV and BET and VH1 all started to make that shift from playing videos all the time to also starting to get into original programming. MTV had a college life type show that they did. They also had the Lyricist Lounge show. They had, which was fire. That's how I learned the one comedian. He's pretty creative. Can't even think of his name, but they had a lot of different things going on. MTV, BET kind of took that similar thing. That's when we didn't know that BET and MTV were owned by the same company. But Like people would talk about why it's got to be black entertainment television without realizing that white people owned it. Yeah, your whole image of blackness. Bob Johnson had already kind of given away. But whatever, that's another lesson, another day. They had hits from the streets. So this is when I grew up in the 90s in high school in early 2000s. You had hits from the street. You had College Hill. You had 106 in Park. You had Rap City the Basement. And what would happen was these places would go and do Tom Joyner Morning Show kind of also originated this. And Tom Joyner would literally every Friday, Tom Joyner would go to a HBCU and do a live show. And it would bring the whole city out. FAMU homecoming and some of the big FAMU games were so incredible to be around. And it was coming off of the end of A Different World where HBCU, BET Uncut, yeah. Whew, that was wild. A Different World with Bill Cosby has shown everybody what it was like to be at HBCUs. And I believe that ended like 93, 94, something like that. And then right after that is really when everybody really started you started seeing a big push into HBCU culture. And I think one of the things that HBCUs miss is trying to protect their culture and gatekeep it that's why you don't have money. You don't have enough. It's like what I joke about Miami, right? Miami has to do stuff to incentivize fans from outside to become Miami fans because they don't have the alumni base. They have very good alumni that have money because it's a great school, but when you only have 5,000 to 6,000 students annually, you don't have enough to be able to support that. Every student at the University of Miami could go to a Miami game and it still looked like it wouldn't beat a high school stadium. So you have to have people. So I think with this right here, with Cam Newton's platform, doing something unique to highlight and spotlight HBCUs is great for the HBCU brand. And I actually think if HBCUs embrace it and they do what I actually talked about 15 years ago, you can see HBCUs being serviceable for what is necessary in today's game. Personally, if I were FAMU, this is just me, I know they don't like this shit. I know what it's like. I know I'm going to go recruit the guys that I believe are talented that need a place to come. I'm going to be a bounce back guy, but I'm also going to recruit the high school kids that everybody like that were really productive that just need another opportunity to shine. And my goal will be to get them out of there in 2 to 3 years. I'm going to take the same mindset as the coach at Syracuse took. I'm going to get you a degree in 3 years. We're going to get you graduated. And then I'm going to get you, if you want to stay, great. But I'm going to try, my goal is to get you out of here. To get to the PWI. You got that HBCU experience, that HBCU degree. We put a good brand of football out there and now go make your money. But don't forget where you came from. And I think Cam being a guy who's from Atlanta, which let's be real, Atlanta culture is essentially HBCU culture. And if you showcase the really good D2 schools, like Morehouse isn't really good, but Morehouse is right there. Morehouse and Spelman, two of the iconic educational brands with HBCU. Morehouse man, Spelman woman. I almost went to Morehouse. You've got Clark Atlanta there. You've got Tuskegee in Alabama, FAMU, Jackson State, Morgan State, which is doing a really good job of recruiting kids, Howard, Hampton. Man, there's 10, like I've always wanted to do a tailgate. The tailgate that I really want to do that I might do this year is the Florida Classic, Bethune-Cookman versus FAMU. Every year, that is one of they own that. Just shedding light on the uniqueness of that game. Most games, there's a guy who comes in or a company that comes in that buys the rights that sell it. That game will always be played where it is because both schools own that game. So the profits are split 50-50 between FAMU and Bethune-Cookman. They can't play a bigger game than that. So what they need to do is support it, because you can't say why not us and then consistently say don't talk about you don't understand it because you didn't go to a HBCU. Which is why some guys like me say I'm gonna mind my PWI business while you struggling. But it would be kind of cool, especially, and I would love to see schools give him full access. And Cam does that shit that where he talks enough about he sounds intelligent enough to want to make you intrigued, even though he's not talking about shit. Mm-hmm. Which is rugby. He has the opportunity to be the black McAfee. Blackafee.
I think he's a better job of what LeBron wants to do. LeBron.
He has the time.
Yeah, fair. Maybe when we're
Moving along, we got some more content for you guys. So let's take a look at the distance the 49ers will travel in this upcoming season for their games. I'm going to share this with you guys. Excuse me. Can't wait to break this down because Adam Schefter had this interesting graphic. Because with upcoming trips to Australia and Mexico City, not to mention Atlanta and New York, the Niners will travel over 38,000 miles this season, more miles than any NFL team has traveled in any one season. So let's take a look at the 49ers versus Rams. That game's going to be in Melbourne, Australia, which is 15,738 miles away. Also playing in Mexico, which is 3,854 miles. You got Atlanta, 4,258. New York, 5,111 miles. Got some other games as well that total up to 38,105 miles. Man, that is a lot of time on that airplane, Jan. But whew, that is a long distance. And do you think that will affect the players' bodies being on that plane traveling 38,000 miles this season?
Not when it's a flight that's probably chartered.
Got
So,
you.
like, I mean, but it's tough, like, you know, but that it's not optimal. But West Coast teams have to travel a lot anyway, so.
Playmaker had something to say about his Super Bowl LX experience in San Francisco, James. So let's see if you agree.
Get no bad bump.
Let's see if you agree with the playmaker himself, Mr. Michael Irvin.
It's muted on your side right now, though.
Thanks for letting me know. Let me fix it right quick. Gonna do this.
All right, looks good.
But what I really want to tell you, and why I really didn't give reports on this weekend or on this Super Bowl, and I didn't want to say it while I was in the midst of it. I wanted to wait till it was over. Honestly, locker room. This was a horrible Super Bowl. They should never, ever, ever, ever bring the Super Bowl back to San Francisco. I'm sorry. The city, this was, in all the years of going to a Super Bowl, this was the worst. This seemed so like blah. It was blah in the city. You know what I mean? It just wasn't jumping like you see Super Bowls jumping. It was blah, the people, blah. blah. The buildings out here looks blah. You know, when you go and you're going to events, it's like blah. I'm thinking it should be so much money out here because the tech is out here, right? But it all looks so blah. Blah, 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 blah. And I didn't want to dampen anybody thoughts or hope about a Super Bowl during the Super Bowl. So I said, I'm going to wait. But I couldn't wait till this moment came to tell you, damn, it's just this, I believe, the worst Super Bowl I've ever gone to.
What were your thoughts, Jaden, in comparison to New Orleans?
Yeah, like you said, I've been to two, so I had it was two different experience. New Orleans, everything was more centered around downtown, and with the Super Bowl, or not really, with San Fran, not really San Fran, the Bay Super Bowl, a lot of things were spread out, and a lot of people had to pick and choose the events and things they had to do. And like he said, you would expect it to be less blah. I think blah was a good word to actually describe it, because all the tech out there, all the tech money, but everything was just so spread out. And he wasn't the only one who felt that way. A lot of the media were lamenting those same thoughts. And James, what did you have to think?
I think the same way. I mean, it just everything kind of gets started with it's not the what is it the I call it the pep rally. I think it's a different name to say it.
Opening night.
Opening night. So opening night is typically in the stadium. There you have the fans there. The teams kind of come out and they walk around. Now, it's been in a dome on the last three, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Arizona, Vegas, and New Orleans. New Orleans probably the worst as far as food goes, I guess, for opening day. For opening day, everything else is fire. But like, it's just kind of, so their media thing is like, it's like a built out part of the parking garage. So it's like high. It's just not like everything else. So, but this one, I couldn't tell you how the food was at opening day because they ran out and then they didn't restock it. Like, so like if you didn't get there, and then it was an hour without traffic away from downtown San Francisco where everybody was at. Now they had buses that would take you there, but like now you're you're completely in control of that, of what they do. So it's not the same. And it was spread out in Arizona, but Arizona literally had a lot of things concentrated in Scottsdale, had a lot of things concentrated in Phoenix, had a lot, like there was a lot to do regardless of where you were at. It wasn't that way for San Francisco. And the pretentiousness. Like when I knew it was going to be interesting is when we went to the Nike thing with Bryson. A 15-year-old had to get us in. Like, Jade, am I exaggerating? Like I had to call a 15-year-old to get me into a Nike suite. Well, bigger than that. Somebody had to come vouch for you. A guy had to walk down. Jaden, can you explain this so that people don't think I'm making this up?
Yeah, you needed to have a Nike rep actually come down and vouch for you, and that's what ultimately happened.
And the only reason we had to have, and my friend got mad at me, I think, but you kind of had to be there in order for it to happen. Like we had to have the NFL Flag Player of the Year get us in. That's the only reason we got it. And I don't even think that would have got him in. I think because of who he is and going viral. They had a starter party, which normally the parties they give you a free apparel because it's a way for them to promote. It was nothing in there but a hot ass room with t-shirts. They had just the events that normally they're exclusive, but they're inclusive of media. It just didn't have the same feeling. You had to drive all around to get to different spots, and it just like I said, it just wasn't the same. Like again, but the media party, I mean, the opening day was in a convention center, and the fans didn't even get a chance to really interact or see. They were in like a little small corner or cubby, and that's just not what the NFL experience should be. Media night. Now, I'll tell you this, EA Sports, probably one of the coolest places you could work. They got a turf football field. They have a nice little cafeteria. They got all kinds of other different things. The problem is it's not a great place to have your media party. Because imagine like going to school, right? Because it's actually it's a campus. Imagine having you're used to it being spread out. They have different food vendors, different places where you could go get a drink. It's a walk around, and there's a theme when it comes to this. Man, they had us in all the food was in one place. And you had all the media members. And again, it was an hour away. It's just things to complain about, like at the end of the day, first world problems. But not really cool. I was like, man, I wouldn't mind not if it's here again, I wouldn't come back. Like as much as people bitch about Jacksonville, they should probably bitch about San Fran as much. Oh wow, breaking news. Lincoln High School just hired Rashad Green as a wide receiver coach. That is cool.
Now we are at our Big Games BS section for the day, where we bring the scope of the conversation outside of the typical football world. And we have our BS or bussin' food review topic. I don't know how people are going to feel about this one because it's combining two Italian staple dishes into one, James. And that is none other than this shrimp scampi pizza. Let's see if this is BS or if it's bussin'. I had to mute it because there's background music, just letting you guys know.
Basically. All right. So you know what this is, right? This is shrimp. You go to your Italian restaurant, right? And you get the shrimp scampi. And what do they always bring you with shrimp scampi? Bread. So that you can dip the bread into the sauce. All this man did was take the bread and put now one thing we know would never happen is they ain't never giving you no 4 big ass prawns on one slice of pizza, dog. Like you gonna get 1 prawn, maybe 2, or they're gonna be little small ones. Depending on, I'd eat it if it was presented for me. But I like shrimp scampi. Like so, I mean, I like to dip the sauce in the bread or the bread in the sauce. So I'm with it. Probably better things, but yeah, I'm with that.
Last thing on the agenda for today is a YN Wineland video we got to share with you guys. And this segment is going to LaMelo Ball, the star point guard on the Charlotte Hornets, because he was recently involved in a car crash in Uptown Charlotte. And people got a hold of the cameras, the traffic cameras that witnessed the incident. Got it right here. It's a quick little 6-second clip, but we don't know what LaMelo was doing in that traffic, but here it is, man.
He swerved and hit the corner. Whoa.
Nobody was seriously injured in this crash. Thankful for that, but internet was in a frenzy from this video right here, courtesy of LaMelo Ball. But you can see his front left tire actually was dislodged from the vehicle.
Yeah,
And
that vehicle's totaled.
yeah, I think that is a Hummer, if I'm not mistaken, one of the newer Hummer models LaMelo Ball's driving. And
Shout
he
out to the next millionaire. Like, kudos to American capitalism. Like, this guy is about to, whoever this person that got hit, I hope they recover from all their injuries, but like, they're gonna probably walk away in a whole new tax bracket, financial security and wealth. Hopefully they got an attorney that's not gonna charge them like 40%. It's like gonna hit them with like 25, 30. But
what if LaMelo got out and like we can do it on the side?
Nah. Nah. So I know he's in. I know he is at fault.
Yeah.
Like, that's not he was all the way in the lane, and that person tried to nah, man. Like, no, bro, no. We're gonna go through. Yeah, I'm calling my lawyer. We're gonna go through this I'm going to the doctor immediately. And we know how much you make. We know all of these different things. We're gonna hit you, man. We're gonna. I'm sorry, Now, if he says something like, I'll give you $3 million right now. You take care of everything you need to take care of, and we can make this go away. I'm gonna give him. He has, because I think you get like 2 weeks or something like that, or whatever it comes down to. I got to report it, right? I don't have to sue you, but I got to report it. I'm going to go through the proper things with my insurance. You have until the close of business in 3 days to be able to give me what I need. $3 million. Or, hey, listen, hey, we can take our chance. One thing you can always do is take a chance in court. I'm with you, like, brother. There's a lot of ways he can do that. There's transfers. I don't want to check. Balance transfer, I think it's like at most it's $50 on both ends. So $100 to get me $3 million, I'll take that all day. But I'm definitely going to yeah, bro. Like, I'm not even playing with you. Like, I don't even know what we're doing here.
That's all I had for today's show. Any last words to say to the fans as we bring in this weekend here on Big Games
You got the
BS?
coffee thing? Just show y'all, I'm gonna show y'all the power of your words, man. No, we could do both of those. But it's the first one I sent you. Oh shoot, man, we need to bring that up. Nah, we'll say that to Monday. Then maybe it's this. I'm pretty sure I sent you the. And then we'll talk about the celebrating people's downfalls. It's such a great meme song.
I know, right?
Like, for that, you gotta use it. I felt validated and seen too. But you just scroll down, forget all of the other stuff. Just listen to the video. I guess, can they hear it?
Thank you so much.
I was so happy.
Yeah, so like, all right, so you see like where that, you see where that's at right there? Yeah. Oh, no, I appreciate that. I was like, I was telling somebody yesterday, they were like, nah, that's how I go. I said, man, I said, I ordered the same drink. Yeah, yeah. 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 And I was looking at it like when I could grab it, and then sometimes it's even it's weird because everybody got their thing, and that's my thing. And I'm like, when you hand it to me, I can feel the weight sometimes. Yeah, but like it's,
I can always tell just by the color, like if
yeah.
it's right. Like if they put too much cream or like ice or something, like I can just tell by the shade of brown that my coffee's wrong or right. So yeah, I'm the same way. But it's just not weight size. Yeah.
Yeah, but cup holders.
Cup holders?
Actually, you know what? No, I'm good. I don't need it. Yeah, I'm sure. All right. Thank you so much. You have a good one. Yes, ma'am. I feel seen. I don't even know if y'all heard her. She said, "Oh, we took what you said. We showed them. You showed us the picture comparison. Oh, that's why it's my favorite star. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't go over the top and divorce my favorite star brother. The other one still did it right without me asking, but how I actually operate, I try to give people chance. I give them their chances, man. I just don't like 3 strikes you out with some things, man. But when you got personal relationships, man, you just try to ride with that shit, man. Like, I probably should treat people more the way that they treat me, but it ain't no fun in that, man. Like I'm about making people get better though. So, but I am so they made me feel so that just made my whole day right there. So now I'm about to go see him, take my little baby boy to school, and love on him, and yeah.
Like, just so y'all know, this is the coffee. You see where that bitch at? All the way to the motherfucking top. They've been trying to give me coffee and trying to make me get it right. Like what I have. Oh man, I wish I could show what they gave me at the airport in Houston. That bitch was right there. Like I paid. And Houston is more. They put an airport tax on it now. I paid $8 for this, man. If I wasn't afraid of missing my goddamn flight, I'd have walked right over there and said no, not acceptable. Like then they try to give you here and they give you all that head. And I told the person the only time head is that good and that is early in the morning is when it's somebody's mouth on me. I do not want head in my coffee. Like, but nah, we got that. And then it was then also a guy who made me go viral with radio was a guy by the name of Jason LaConforna. He's a habitual liar. It's funny because one of the quotes that people put is that he got moved before he claimed his thing was always the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to move to London. That was his thing. He kept putting it out there, and it to find out that he got moved before the Jaguars moved. But he was terminated, and I just love this sound. It's funny because it's just, and this person thinks I talk in subliminals, and I don't. I'm liminal. Like you know if I'm talking about you. The only time I may hide the name is mainly for your protection. It ain't because I don't want to say your name. It's just mainly because of you. But there's only 2 people on this planet who've ever said lose their number. And that's Jason like a fuckboy and Kendra Brown. But let's you got that audio. I want y'all to listen to this audio from it was not the drill. What was the Lunch Bunch's name? I don't even remember. But I was on another show and I wasn't trying to cause trouble, but apparently I caused trouble. So, but you can go ahead and play that audio. It was one of the things you lied about. Muted, man. I mean, I can hear it. Yeah, I hear that.
How they don't.
But yeah, he's a habitual liar. This one right here was a lie he got caught in, saying that Tom Coughlin was going to coach the Jaguars. Yeah, it was on 1010 XL. You want to try to play from the phone?
Coughlin and a possible return. What's the latest? What are you hearing? And honestly, give us a percentage. What do you think it is of him returning to the side?
I can't. I can't. I mean, I know people they always want everything, put into percentages or this or that. It's going to come down to what's in his heart and what's in his mind about where he is in his career and in regards to his lifestyle, and then looking at this task that he took on that looks monumentally more difficult right now than it does the moment he walked back to that franchise to oversee it and that sort of team president type role. It's obvious to a lot of people who know him well that many of the strengths he has and many of his calling cards and hallmarks are exactly what's missing from this organization's on-field product right now. But this is somebody who is thinking about the Hall of Fame as well at some point. And, Father Time is undefeated, and he knows just how difficult it is to be a head coach of this league. But he also knows just how much he hated it when the Giants took that from him, and he kind of spent a year at the league office where he couldn't get his competitive yayas out no matter how he tried. And, we'll see. I don't know the answer, but that's certainly something in his mental calculus that he and, the Shad and Tony Khan and everybody else are going to have to figure out. But they look like a team drifting into the abyss right now, and that's not lost on people in that building. The question is, how do we fix it? And is it even possible for there to be a short fix? Because when I talk to people around the league who've studied that team and their payroll and who do this for a living, they don't see a lot of quick fixes. They see a team that went for it, that blew it out financially and cap-wise, and eventually those credit card bills come due.
Jason, just for clarification purposes, and I, of course, don't expect you to give us the name of sources or anything like that, but where is the idea coming from that he would like to return to the sidelines?
I don't know if I can make it any more clear than that clip that I played. I mean, I'm talking to people who know him well, people who've worked with him in the past, people who may hope they're on a staff if a new staff is put together, but people who have been around Tom Coughlin and know how he's wired and are aware of the situation there right now.
So you use deductive reasoning. Because what you just said, so based on the clip and what you just said, based upon talking to people and looking at what he's done in the past, you're using deductive reasoning to say that Tom Coughlin may or may not go back. Because you haven't said anything. You said your percentage just kind of said, I think that he may go back to the sideline based on people I've talked to. Did anybody clearly say Tom is going to go back to the sideline?
I don't think he's made the decision. But if you've got a crystal ball, you could look into it, and maybe you could do the interview. Maybe interview yourself.
I'm just not going to do deductive reasoning until I know it.
You can call it whatever you want to call it. I call it.
All right, Jason. Listen, it's hard to get anything out of this building. So it had to have come from the outside.
So all right, we can pause it because he's going to go into the whole thing where he gets mad and Blue literally takes it and just amplifies it to the next level. Was I an asshole for that?
When he first said deductive reasoning, I was like, okay, that's fair enough to say. But I knew what was going to trigger him was when you kind of added on to it, because were like, you kind of said
He didn't say anything. Like he didn't say anything, and then he got offended. Like you can interview, bitch. That's what we do. We fucking sports radio is when you do 2 hours of talk to yourself about whatever the fuck you want to talk about.
You shouldn't get offended at deductive reasoning.
And it's okay if that's what you said. Like based upon what people have told me, I didn't say tell me the person.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, based on my information, but
Yeah, like that's 90. Actually, that kind of like, yeah, I think. But like the problem with him is he speaks as fact. And when he's wrong, one of the things that when people are wrong, and then I didn't realize that's what he looked like.
that's his face.
That's what he looks
way.
like.
Don't get offended at me with that face, boy. I'm still a little
And then
bit
don't
of-
talk. The biggest problem with media, I was okay. Maybe it was a little ass. I wasn't trying to be assholish. In that moment, I didn't want to do the show, and I was being egged on because everybody knows they're like, James, you got something to say. And they so like how we're talking right now. You know how we talk off the mic?
right.
Oh, they muted their mic because I'm like, yo. I'm like, yo, this nigga's not saying anything. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? And they're like, James, do you have something to say? I said, nah, I'm good. Oh, nope, I don't got nothing to say. Nope, don't got nothing to say. James, you have something to say. Go ahead and say it. James, just say it. I said, this isn't my show. I don't want y'all to get in trouble. Like, nah, James, go ahead and say it. Then I said it, and then that shit went viral. That shit, like, they put it on Philly. It was all, I had cousins calling me from like, yo, like, when'd you start doing sports? Was that you? That sounded like you. And I'm like, first off, and then also, I hate hearing my voice. So like listening to my voice, I'm like, yo, I really sound like that. But two, I'm just like, yo. And then he's like talking like that. I'm like, bro, who the fuck are you talking to?
I started getting anxious, like I was in the studio again, like, oh.
And Baloo wouldn't let me, because I was about to really be like, yo, you haven't seen, like, you're not. And it's kind of like, okay. And that's the problem is like, I did it with pure intentions, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I didn't go in that day. Most of my life, I don't go in and say, you know what, I'm finna fuck with this person. But then when all I did was just, I really just wanted to know, like, hey, man, I've talked to, if he would have said, I got like 3 or 4 people that have said they really believe he's gonna do it.
Could have asked, like, what's your percentage?
He did. Baloo asked him that, and he's like, I'm not gonna do percentages. It was pretentious.
What are we doing here? Are we doing radio or not?
Right. And then so like we brought you, like, you put this out as news in our market as the official station of the Jaguars. And when Baloo came, like, you think you know more about the Jags than what we know. And you could, because you are at that time a national beat reporter. You could have got something. But like anytime that I've gotten things and I report on it, I try not to speak in absolutes. Because the only thing consistent is inconsistency, especially in coaching searches. But like what was odd is, you know who got fired, who got let go before Doug at the time? Tom Coughlin. So like none of his shit said I know for a fact the Jags are moving. Like no, and like Shad's like, meanwhile Shad's buying up more Jacksonville. The more he's doubling down on this. Like you got to know when to hold him, when to fold him, baby. But just wanted to celebrate the anniversary of that and celebrate his success in the field or lack of there. Could not have happened to a better person. I just genuinely don't like this guy. And now that I see his face, it all makes sense. Just has an unlikable face. And but it was weird because, you know, you got to celebrate your first. The first woman to ever tell me to lose her number was Kendra. The first man to ever tell me to lose his number. And but to be honest with you, the only 2 people who have ever told me that to this day are these 2 people. Like one, the thing that they say, and you know, it's not for young. I don't trust my sons. You know why I don't trust them? They don't have facial hair. And I look at him as a grown man, and he made a choice to do that.
Ain't no way.
But then again, imagine if he had a beard. it would be the weirdest looking beard, probably. Like, we probably would just be like, you know what? Don't have a beard. They try to fill it in and make it look fuller. That's it. People without chins bother me. It's why what's the female who was in what's her name? She's cute, but she just doesn't have a chin, and it throws me off. Yeah, actress Taraji P. Henson. Taraji P. My daughter's mom doesn't have a chin. I think it comes down to that. I'm traumatized by people without chins. Like, her chin is like it's not there. It's like it's there, but it's not. It's like pointy. It's like, yeah. It's like, yo, like, what happened? Like, with all the bone structures in the world, like, why did we stop there? Like, but you know, whatever. Science, I don't know. But outside of that, man, appreciate you, Jaden, for hopping on with us. Appreciate everybody who's on the live. We're going to try to make sure we get even more. So I said, with the beard, he probably looked like Ted Cruz. Jesus Christ, Ted Cruz is Herman. Like, looks like one of the monsters. Like, he is. Oh, he doesn't have a chin? Yeah, he needs a beard. Like, there's not James Harden. There's nothing. Like, I don't even want to know what he looks like without a chin. Like, probably looks like an ant.
It is. It's a strange look. You've never seen him?
Nah, man. You know how when people do the descriptions, it's like, never mind. I don't even want to go into that. I guess we got to look to see what James Harden looks like with no beard. No way. He does look like ants. Yo. Those are not the same people. There's no way. Like, if he ever commits a crime, he's got to shave his beard.
Yeah.
There's nobody would know who he was. He beating whatever the charges are.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beating them charges.
Boy, the one who running Magic City.
Dog,
Face, right?
the one down at the bottom, that one right there, that's insane.
He could never diss me. I don't care how much money you get. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. Oof. Oof.
Like, when was this? Because he's been in the league for like a while.
Right after the filming of Bugs Life.
That's the only way it makes sense. But I was like, he kind of looked like, nah, he don't even look like Marlo. But anyways, that's throwing me off right now, man. Throwing me off. But yeah, now it's gonna be like embedded in my eyes. Like, I go to sleep and boom, beardless James Harden is in my face. All right, anyways, man, appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Oh yeah, I would probably be. Hopefully, I have some highlights of my goddaughter. Sanaa scored the first touchdown.
Hey.
Flag football, also had like 3 sacks. She was balling and said her name a lot. She's a beast. We got this weekend we'll be posting stuff. Kyle's got his last flag football game for this season until 3 weeks later. And hope everybody has a great weekend, and appreciate y'all for chopping it up with me. And we will see you guys next time.